This is the new DJI Action 4, and today I want to share with you my personal experience with this camera. There is a lot of hype around this, and I don't think that this should be normal. People saying the same thing every single time, right? Right? I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Otto and welcome back to another video. The Action 4 brings back most of the features that we had on the DJI Action 3 along with some improvements. It is now waterproof down to 18 meters and you still get the same magnetic quick release system that will let you mount or remove the camera quickly. If you have multiple mounts like this one, switching from one place to another is only going to take a few seconds. And the best part is that these are fully compatible with GoPro accessories. Some of you might be afraid of this, but let me tell you that this has a locking mechanism. Not sure if you can see the close over here, so it does feel secure and strong. I also found that now it doesn't attach as smoothly as it used to, so it's always going to be a good idea to double check if it's mounted correctly. When you buy the Action 4, you will get one quick release adapter, one base for a helmet, one locking screw, and one battery. A lens hood is also included if you want to remove the main lens cover. This is going to let some extra light into the sensor, but it's not going to be waterproof. You also get this accessory if you buy the Action 4. It is a protective case which is not only going to protect your device, but it will also let you change the orientation to a vertical position just like this. My only complaint is that the power button doesn't seem to give you any kind of feedback. What I'm trying to say is that you will not feel a click when you press it, and that can become a bit annoying. Everything else in this camera feels good. The doors on the sides are easy to open and close, the back screen feels responsive to the touch, and the menu system is easy to use. We also have a color front-facing display that is extremely useful for selfie mode, but the best part is that this is also touch-enabled, so you can change all the settings that you want without having to turn the camera around, like you would do with the GoPro 11. On the last trip where I used the Action 3, I realized that there was something about my videos that I wasn't too happy about. And you've probably heard that the Action 4 now has a bigger sensor, but it's not just about the size. There is something different in the technology that they're using, and now the videos are looking much better, even if you're using the normal color profile. And this is important for those of you that just want to record some videos and forget about color grading, or want to be able to share those videos without having to edit them. For those of us who want to get the most out of it, the Action 4 now has the Log-M, which is a flat color profile that has 10-bit color. No matter what color profile you select, you can increase or decrease the sharpness and the noise reduction. You can also use the default setting, and there is also a portrait mode. Now going back to the bigger sensor topic, this is supposed to improve your videos in low light conditions, and just like with any other action camera, this is not going to be perfect. But I found that the Action 4 is doing a great job. I took the GoPro 11 with me and took a few side-by-side videos when I still had a small amount of light. And if you take a closer look, you can see that the video taken by the Action 4 looks better, while the GoPro 11 already has a good amount of noise. I remember that one of my main complaints with the Action 3 was about skin tones and texture not looking so great, and now it feels like there has been some improvements. Something else that I don't like about action cameras is the distortion that you get when using a wider field of view. If you look at the GoPro 11, you will see some heavy distortion on the sides, and the Action 4 seems to control that in a better way. The Action 4 can record videos at 4K up to 120 frames per second, and that's going to be great for slow motion video clips. And if you want super slow motion, the Action 4 can record 240 frames per second, but only at 1080p. Now this camera has an electronic stabilization system that they call Rocksteady, and it's not really a surprise that it works in a fantastic way. There is also a horizon balancing system which will keep your video horizon straight even if you're tilting the camera to the left or the right. The good news is that unlike the Action 3, it now works in 360 degrees. But the bad news is that this only works at 2.7K or lower. And if you want to use this feature in 4K, it will only support about 45 degrees, just like the Action 3 did. Another problem that normally happens with action cameras using electronic stabilization is that when there isn't enough light, the videos will have this tiny vibration glitch effect. But the Action 4 has this option to minimize this effect. It seems to do a decent job, but using this means that you have to sacrifice using Pro mode, and this means no manual settings and no flat color profile. DJI claims that the battery will record for 2 hours and a half. This is true if you record at 1080p. At 4K, at 24 frames per second with horizon balancing, it will record for 2 hours. And at 4K and 60 frames per second, I was able to record for almost 1 hour and a half. I feel that this is quite good, and just so you get a better idea, with the GoPro 11, you can record for about 60 to 80 minutes in 4K at 24 frames per second. I am so sorry. The battery is replaceable, and if you want to buy extra ones, they now have a lower price at $30. These batteries can also be charged all the way up to 80% in about 20 minutes depending on the charger that you have, but you can also charge and use the Action 4 at the same time if you need to. Let's talk about an important topic, which is overheating. I watched a few videos reporting that this camera was overheating using it at 4K and 24 frames per second. I have no idea what they were doing to the Action 4, but I did some non-friendly tests. You know, no movement, no airflow, no air conditioning. And as you can see, at 4K 24 frames per second with horizon balance on, the battery died at 1 hour and 55 minutes, but it never overheated. The next day, I tried using 4K at 60 frames per second, and this time, it did stop recording at 80 minutes, but at that point, the Action 4 only had 5% left on the battery. In my opinion, these are really good results, and with the... I'm not even going to compare. So how about if we take a look at the internal microphone? Okay, so this is a microphone test using the DJI Action 4. And this is what it sounds like inside my studio. Next, we're going to take this outdoors. Okay, so now we're testing the Log M, and we're going to compare this to the normal color profile that we have. A big plus that this camera has is that you can connect an external microphone directly to the USB-C port. I was able to use the DJI mic and also the new Comica VM30. If your mic doesn't have a USB-C plug, you can buy any TRS adapter like this one. Other features that caught my attention is the fact that you can use this as a webcam and even record at the same time at 1080p. Voice control is always something nice to have to start or stop recording. There is a zoom wheel that lets you zoom up to 2x, but this is digital, so maybe not really a big deal. And I think I haven't mentioned that the Action 4 turns on super quickly, and this is also true if you press the record button to start recording when the camera is off. Basically, there's almost no delay when you need to get this into the action. Is that why they call this the Action 4? The new Action 4 is more expensive than the Action 3 at $400 or $500 if you get the Adventure Combo, which has 2 extra batteries, a battery case that lets you charge all of them, and one extension rod that extends up to 1.5 meters. I think the Adventure Combo is a good value, but this time I bought the standard combo with only one additional battery. That's the most I would use in a day, so for me, it's fine. If you want to see how I like to avoid overheating on the Action 4, stay until the end of the video. For now, how about if you hit that like button? I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye.